Hey Stampers, I'm really excited to share this idea with you today. It's adorable Ghirardelli chocolate snowman. He is so easy to make. You probably have the punches that you need or can improvise, and they just make a really fun gift. So let's get started. So here he is. Isn't he adorable? Try and get the glare out. And so it's 3 Ghirardelli chocolates, and actually I'll move him now so you can see all the parts that you would need to make him. Get those closer together, and I'll talk just a little bit about those. So for my base behind my chocolates, I just cut a 2 by 5.5 inch strip of craft cardstock, but you could really use any color cardstock. I just happened to have scraps in. I used some tear and tape on it and just simply stacked my chocolates up on there. And that way he'll stay assembled in your package. Okay, so I'm gonna start by assembling my snowman's top hat. And what I'm gonna need are 2 punch outs that are punched using the note tag punch, and I punched mine from black glimmer paper, but you could use black cardstock as well, and it's actually the bottom part of that punch. So what worked best was to just cut a strip that was about 1.25 inches, and then I punched my top hats because I made multiple of these because they were a project for my open house that all my hostesses and club members got to make. And then you also need 2 punches from the washi label punch. They make a perfect brim for his hat. And I have found the best and quickest way to hold things together, especially that have the foil. And this is just a little of the red foil that I cut just the same with the cross of the note tag punch. I'm gonna start out by attaching that with glue dots. They are the best adhesive for this project. And you just center that and have your brim be as high as you want. And so it's centered on my washi label. And then I'm going to put glue dots on the bottom. Push hard enough so that they stick to your glimmer paper. And what you do want to do is make sure that your hats are the same height because you're going to match them up. You're making a front and a back. And so I laid mine on top of the one that I made, so that way no 2 hats need to be the same, but you do want your 2 halves of your hat to be the same. So now I have 2 halves. I also punched from the red glimmer, I punched one of the little flowers. It's from the Itty Bitty Accents punch pack. There's the flower punch in that, and used an enamel dot in the center. And I'm just going to stick that to my glue dot and put that on one side of my hat. And then the best adhesive that I found worked good for sticking the clothespin on was to use the Tombow liquid glue. There we go. Just kind of cover the one side of your, and then you want the bottom of the clip toward the bottom of the hat. And then I'll do the same. I'm going to put some glue on this side. And this will stick by the time that I'm finished assembling my snowman. This will be ready to put on. So now I can just set that aside. And now I can finish assembling my snowman. So I've used 1 of the 2.5 inch punches and 2 of the 2 inch circles, and they're just punched from white cardstock. I did stamp using the charcoal pieces that are in the Snow Place stamp set, just because it was easy for me, and I didn't have to use any of my own drawing skills, which are slim. And so I'm going to just use my snail and attach the largest circle. And then the next size circle, and you just want to overlap them slightly. And then his eyes were actually candy dots, and I used a black Sharpie to color some of the colors that I don't use all the time so that I could have enough black ones. His carrot nose is just a piece of Tangerine Tangle cardstock. And then I use my Stampin' Write marker, the writer tip, to make his little mouth. And there's no right or wrong way. I started by drawing first the little corner of his mouth, draw the squiggly mouth, and then the other corner. That made it easy. His nose is actually connected with a glue dot, so that is super fast and easy. We're going to just put his head on. And his little scarf goes on with glue dots as well. And you'll notice my little trick of keeping my glue dots in check. I'm using just a scrap of ribbon to tie it up to keep my glue dots from sticking where I don't want them. And I've put a glue dot on the either end of that piece, and then I'm going to take this longer piece of the red pom-pom trim and just wrap it around so it looks like the tails of my scarf. You can also put another glue dot. Your piercing tool comes in handy when you're using glue dots because you can place those glue dots right where you want them. So now he's all dressed and ready. That's all there is to him. I did use one of Stampin' Up's gusseted cellophane bags. Love these. They come 25 in a pack. I believe they're only $4.50. I did trim mine down so I could fold it over. And then you just clip his hat and you're ready to give it away. You could slide a gift card in the back. You could slide a to from message in the back. You can even put your Christmas card in the back if you wanted to. But anyway, that is how quick and easy it is to make those snowmen. I hope you enjoyed them. Thanks for stopping by today.